Hi, welcome back to another edition of Coach's Corner. Today we'll be previewing a couple games and reviewing a couple. Today we'll start off with Saints Falcons. What's your opinion on this game, Clayton?
I thought it was a very good game for Taysom Hill to build off of because he hasn't really exactly played good football up to this point. There's two different ways to look at how he's actually played. You can look at it as, okay, he just basically did what we knew he could do, and that's be an athlete at the quarterback position, but we haven't seen him play quarterback yet. I said that in the last week's review that this is a big game for Taysom Hill because this is actually going to be the first time he got to play a team that had good film on him, had experience playing him, and was probably going to take away his ability to run the football. And he did exactly what he needed to do, and that was improve as a passer. I know we could get kind of we want to overreact. That's our instant reaction, right? I mean, it's like you touch something that's hot. That's why it's a hot take. You touch it, it's hot, and you pull your hand back, right? We want to do that, especially with quarterbacks, because it's such a polarizing position. And I think whenever we're looking at Taysom Hill, we're really trying to make snap judgment calls here because we knew we were only going to get a brief window to look at him to see if he was going to be the guy after Breeze. I still don't think we have that question answered. We would need a larger sample size, but I think he's trending in the right direction, and I think he's showing improvements in the areas that we need to see improved. And I think if I'm a Saints fan, I am tremendously encouraged by that.
Yeah, but also, do you think that people are kind of reacting the way they did prior to this game, where there's kind of questions marks in the air because he's a different quarterback than Teddy Bridgewater. And when Teddy Bridgewater stepped in last year, when in the same scenario when Drew Brees was hurt, like, do you think that Teddy played so well and set the bar so high for stepping in for Brees that people wanted to compare his play to that of Teddy Bridgewater's last year?
That's a fair question to ask, Coach. And I think I think that if you are making those comparisons, I think you're doing yourself a disservice and you're just making life difficult on yourself because Teddy Bridgewater is not the same type of athlete with arm strength on the same caliber that what Taysom Hill is. So playing to each other's strengths, it's going to go in two different ways. The reason Teddy Bridgewater succeeded on such a high level is because the play calling itself didn't actually change that much whenever Breeze stepped away and Teddy stepped in because they kind of play the same type of game. They want to make the short accurate throws. They want to be a step ahead of you mentally.
70% completion percentage is kind of that goal with both of them.
Yeah, absolutely. With Drew is such a perfectionist. If it's not 100, he's upset with himself, right?
Exactly.
But that's the kind of guy you love to have. I like I said, I do think if I'm the Falcons, I'm very discouraged because this team has no culture. I don't think at this point. I think their culture is kind of losing in weird ways or just losing games in general. I think that if you actually look back over the previous years, you evaluate them as a whole, right? Like this core group of guys they've got. I think the box scores are misleading. I think they put up numbers and lose, but it's time to move on. It's time to move on from Matt Ryan. I think it's time to move on from several pieces. I think you keep Julio Jones and Calvin Ridley and you move on for pretty much everything else. Right. And I think this was a prime example of that. I think Morris, the coach, has done a great job filling in and getting the guys ready to play every week. But and maybe you move forward with him. OK, I don't think you could make a snap judgment on him. Kind of the same way I said we can't make snap judgments on Taysom Hill. But I think Matt Ryan's time in Atlanta's over. I think you get Todd Gurley out of there. I think you get all those guys out of there. Right. And you just keep the core pieces that you're either contractually obligated to with heavy dead cap money, penalty money, or you're young promising pieces like I said, a Calvin Ridley.
Yeah, I mean you could look at this rebuild for lack of a better way of putting it kind of like the Dolphins. I mean, you take the Dolphins approach. I mean, they got a lot out of Laramie Tunsil. Also, they got a lot out of, they got a first round out of Minkah Fitzpatrick. I mean, do you think that some of these guys they could maybe not necessarily get first round picks, but they could build up multiple picks? Is kind of the question. But there's only one way to find out. We'll find out in the offseason. But I mean, I agree. Like I think that going back to the point on Taysom Hill, going into this game, he started, 2-3 games prior to this game at quarterback? I think this was his third game, right?
Correct.
And in some of the spot duty he's played are kind of when he was playing quarterback when Drew Brees was healthy, he hadn't had a passing touchdown yet. And, you'd think that, in one of those games that he stepped in for Drew Brees, he would have had more numbers. But I do agree with you. I think he's trending in the right direction. And, it'll be interesting to see how this plays out, this coming off season for sure, because, and starting quarterback in the NFL is a hot commodity. Like, everybody wants one, but, not everyone has one because there's just not the supply of them. So it'll be kind of interesting to see how everything plays out with Breeze and Hill and Jameis Winston. So it'll be interesting to see, to say the least.
Yeah, I definitely agree with you. I mean, you look at the Denver Broncos, what are they missing, right? They're missing a right tackle. And they're missing a quarterback. They're missing a minor position on the offense and a major position. Everything else on the defense, whatever you evaluate it, and everything else on the offense, very talented group of guys. And you can go down the line. We talk about the Bucs a lot on this show. What's holding them back this year? It's an aging Tom Brady. So this is a position you can't afford to miss on. And if you do, you have to be willing to build around it. And Sean Payton is creative offensively, and I think he would be one of the guys willing to work with Taysom Hill and make this work. But also at the same time, you have to be willing to understand that what happened in Denver, where he went 9 of 16 with 2 interceptions and did not play very good at the quarterback position. Granted, they still won. I understand that and everything. But you have to be willing to understand going forward, those are the kind of performances that will pop up because he's not a pocket passer. He's an athlete playing quarterback. And it looks like he's actually tried to hone his craft at playing quarterback, and he's actually taken the mechanical side and the mental side seriously. This isn't the same guy we saw at BYU, and much to his credit, he is trying to get better. And I like I said, I've never once tried to put Taysom Hill down or say he can't be the guy. I just have had these concerns of when you put an athlete at quarterback, are they going to play quarterback or are they going to be an athlete playing quarterback? And those are two different things. And, I could have a whole conversation of an hour long about how that's two different things. So
for sure.
Save that conversation.
Yeah, but let us know if you think we got anything wrong. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and check out other content from the East West Football Network. Thank you.